Hi, my name is Charlie Huvenius and I'm a research scientist and senior lecturer at Flinders University, where I've been working on white sharks since I arrived in Adelaide about 6 years ago. There is a lot of information that's been gathered by scientists around white sharks and about the ecology and biology of white sharks, and we now know a bit more information about these sharks, but there's still a lot that we don't know. For example, here at the Neptune Islands, we know that white sharks aggregate, and we are presuming that they do so to feed on the seal that haul out and breed at the Neptune Islands. However, we're never actually seeing these sharks predating or feeding on these seals. And that's actually quite surprising when we know that in other areas, like False Bay in South Africa, you can see up to 30 predation in one morning. So these sharks here are doing something different, but we don't really know what they're doing. So our project will be using this state-of-the-art technology to monitor the behavior of the sharks. We'll also be able to deploy these mini cameras on the sharks at the same time to try to understand how these sharks are predating and what are these sharks doing differently to what they're doing in South Africa. This area is also quite special because it's the only place in Australia where cage diving takes place. And we have shown, along with scientists from governmental agencies, that the cage diving industry can influence the swimming patterns and residency of white sharks. This has resulted in the South Australian government to develop and implement a new policy to manage and minimize the potential effect of the cage diving industry. However, we still don't know how white sharks are affected when interacting with cage diving operators and whether these effects are detrimental to sharks. For example, does it really matter if sharks are swimming around a cage diving vessel compared to just swimming around the Neptune Islands? So our equipment will allow us to assess the level of activity of white sharks and determine whether cage diving is affecting the energy expenditure of these sharks, or maybe keep them away from performing crucial natural behaviors. We're collaborating with the University of Tokyo, who are providing us with this equipment, with the whole package that we put on the sharks cost about $15,000. And we're going to be deploying that thanks to a new technology that allows us to deploy this on the shark without having to catch the shark. So we can deploy this equipment using a clamp system on the dorsal fin while the shark is free swimming as well. So what we need is actually your support for this project to make this possible. Is to basically, the money will be used to pay for the logistic of coming to Neptune Islands and chartering a boat for 5 days and deploy the equipment and recover the equipment. So please come and visit our site on Plausible and have a look at the reward, because there's some really good rewards as well.